You ever think about how many people have probably died in these woods? Like, just gone missing, never found again.
Wow. Way to kill the vibe, Chris. We're finally chilling and you're out here summoning ghosts.
Better than summoning mosquitoes, I guess. Although, I did hear there's a cursed burial ground like 10 miles from here.
Don't start, John. I swear, if you try to freak me out, I'm sleeping in the car.
Too late. Vibes are officially spooky now. Might as well lean in.
All right then, you wanted ghosts? Let's tell some stories. Real ones. Stuff that actually happened. Or at least, stuff people swear happened.
Okay, but I'm not going first. Someone else can kick it off.
No, you brought in the spooky, so you will go first.
Fine. In Japan, they whisper a name, like a warning, like a prayer wrapped in fear. Kuchisake-Onna, the Slit-Mouthed woman. It began long ago, in a suburb where the lanterns flickered even when there was no wind. She was breathtaking. The kind of beauty that ruins men and infuriates women. But beauty, when worshipped too deeply, can become a curse. Her husband, proud, paranoid, poison in his heart, accused her of betrayal. And one night, everything shattered. With eyes like fire and hands that trembled with rage, he took a knife and he smiled as he carved hers apart. Now, who will think you're beautiful? She lived, but something inside her died screaming, and something else woke up. Now she walks the streets at night, her mask neat and sterile, hiding horror beneath. If you see her, a lone figure, still as stone, she'll step forward, almost kindly, and ask, "Am I beautiful?" Say no, and your blood becomes paint on the sidewalk. Say yes. She lifts her mask, and the world tilts. The wound smiles, wide and wet and unforgiving, and she asks again,
No.
Say no. You die screaming. Say yes. She laughs. A terrible, delighted giggle, and then the scissors flash, and your smile becomes hers. Some say she can be tricked. Candy, money, clever words. You look average might make her pause. But don't count on it. Because once she sees you, you're hers. So if you're alone, and someone in a mask steps from the shadows, and her voice brushes your spine like ice, run, run. Because she never forgets a face.
That story, yeah, gave me chills. But this one broke me. Let me tell you about Teke-Teke. She was just a schoolgirl. Ordinary, bright smile, full of dumb little dreams. And then, one night, everything ended. She was walking home, alone, across the train tracks like she always did. But this time, something went wrong. Some say she slipped. Others say hands pushed her from behind. Doesn't matter. Because when that train came, it took her legs clean off. But the real nightmare, she didn't die. Not right away. She lay there on cold steel, dragging herself. Entrails slithering behind her like red snakes. Nails scraping, snapping on the rails, screaming for help that never came. And the earth remembered her pain. It carved it into the stone. Now she crawls, only her top half, bloodied hands, clawing, arms bent like broken twigs. She moves with speed, unnatural speed. And that sound, oh God, that sound, Teke, Teke-Teke. She's not just around the tracks anymore. She's in basements, garages, school halls after dark, anywhere forgotten, and still. One guy, my cousin's dorm mate, took a shortcut behind the station. Heard pipes, he thought. Then came the dragging and the clicking. He turned. She was there. Skin like paper. No eyes, just holes. Hands like claws. And the sound she made? Like knives across bone. He ran, screaming, crying. He made it out. But now he barely speaks. Sits, staring at the floor. At night, they hear him whisper, Teke, Teke, Teke. There's talk, rumors, ways to survive. A riddle, maybe. Shouting the right cursed train line, but no one agrees. No one who's gotten close ever makes it far enough to warn anyone else. She's not hunting to scare you. She's hunting to collect you. If she finds you, she splits you. Straight down the middle. Like she's finishing a puzzle. And every half body left behind, another stitch in her legend. So if you're ever near the rails, or walking a hallway where the lights flicker, and you hear it, that scrape, that drag, Teke, Teke, Teke. Run. Don't fall. Don't look behind you. And if you feel her breath on your neck, it's already too late.
Okay, I've got one. It's old, heavy, and it hurts to tell. But it's real. Or at least, that's what my abuela swore. Hushed. She used to whisper it at night. Voice barely above breath. Like the shadows might be listening. It's about La Llorona, the weeping woman. Once, her name was Maria. They say she was breathtaking. The kind of beauty that made men stumble. She married rich, had 2 children. A fairy tale. Until it wasn't. Her husband, he'd changed. Laughter gone, eyes cold. He'd vanish for days, then reappear with the scent of someone else clinging to him. One day, Maria saw him in town. With her, laughing, living. He walked right past his own children, and something inside Maria just snapped. That night, under a sky with no stars, she led her children to the river. Maybe she thought she was saving them. Maybe she couldn't bear to be left again. But she drowned them. And the second the water closed over their heads, she knew what she'd done. She screamed, raked the earth with her fingers, shouted their names till her voice was blood. She threw herself into the river, begging to follow them. But the river refused her. They found her at dawn, sobbing, shaking, mouth open in a scream too big for her body. And when death came for her, it didn't bring peace. Because grief like hers, it doesn't fade. It festers. Now, she walks. Every night, her dress soaked, clinging to bones, hair like seaweed, eyes like absence, and through the black, echoing silence, mis hijos, ¿dónde están mis hijos? But here's what the fairy tales leave out. She's not just weeping. She's searching. And when she finds children, alone, lost, she takes them. Not out of hate, but hunger. A bottomless ache for the lives she destroyed. People whisper, parents warn, but some have seen her. One woman saw her in the flood channel, pale arms stretched toward her house, eyes like dying stars. The next morning, muddy prints to the patio, doors locked, but her child's window just barely open. The boy never spoke again. He just stares and cries in his sleep. You think she's a story? Then why does the air freeze near rivers? Why do children wake screaming when they hear crying that isn't theirs? No, she's out there, still searching, still sobbing, dragging her sorrow through the world. And if you hear it, that low, broken wail drifting on the breeze, don't look out the window. Don't answer the sound. And whatever you do, hold your children close. Because La Llorona is still looking. That's rough.
Dying for your kids, and cursed to wander forever? Yeah. But mine, it's not about sorrow. Not even remorse. It's just mean, old. The kind of story that doesn't ask if you believe it. It dares you to try and forget it. It started with whispers. The Bell family, John, Lucy, and their little girl Betsy, moved to a quiet Tennessee farm, thinking they were chasing peace. But the land had other plans. One night, John saw something in the cornfield. A creature, twisted. The body of a dog, the head of a rabbit. He raised his rifle, fired, and the thing vanished. That was the first sign. Soon after, whispers crawled through the house at night. Furniture dragged across the floor with no hands to push it. Doors slammed. Blankets were yanked from sleeping bodies. Children woke with bruises blooming across their skin. And always, that voice. A woman's voice. Sometimes she hummed lullabies that made your bones ache. Other times she'd whisper prayers in a language no one recognized. But her focus was Betsy. 12. Innocent. Powerless. She was slapped, mocked, her hair pulled by invisible fingers. She'd wake up screaming and never knew why. The Bells begged for help. Priests came, left in terror. Neighbors tried to stay the night. None of them ever did it twice. The spirit was too strong, too present. They began calling her Kate. No one knew why, but once she had a name, she used it. Visitors traveled miles to see the haunted Bell farm, and they'd leave with white faces, muttering about voices in thin air, cold hands on their necks, whispers that knew their names. But the worst part, the real horror, was what she did next. When Betsy got engaged to a local boy, Joshua, Kate lost it. The attacks escalated. Every night, Betsy shrieked in her bed. Scratches appeared on her arms. The house bled with sound until finally, Betsy gave in. Tears streaming, she broke the engagement. And for a moment, it went quiet. Then, Kate turned on John Bell. He began seizing, coughing up black bile. Dark, oily liquid appeared in his food. He wasted away. And one morning, they found him dead. A glass vial, still damp with that same black poison. And echoing through the empty house, Kate's voice. Cold, triumphant.
God, I gave old Jack a dose of something. From my bottle.
They buried him. But they didn't bury her. The haunting never stopped. Not completely. Visitors to the Bell property whisper about a humming in the woods. A hand grabbing the back of your neck. A breath that isn't yours. And sometimes the dirt above John Bell's grave looks just a little too fresh.